Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Roses Are Reddit, the official Reddit Bachelor podcast. I am your quality host, and with me today are our special guests, Queen Overthrown and Honey, I'm Sorry.
Okay.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
So, we're back after our short break that happened because...
Literally no one's noticing. They're like, what?
Yeah, I mean... Yeah. If you're paying attention, we're back after our short break because this is the off season and coming up with content is hard. So, yeah, that's all I had on that.
Yeah.
So let's get into things that happened in Bachelor Nation. Are you ready to talk, Honey? Are you ready to talk about some really crappy social media happenings?
I'm so sorry about all the happenings.
Good, because we're gonna start with the thing that probably to me bothered me the most about all the social media happenings, and that's Coachella. Apparently Bachelor people were at Coachella.
Shocker.
Especially Dean and Christina were hanging out in the same area, and that started a whole kerfluffle.
Shocker again, I say.
I'm like, huh?
Sigh from me.
Sigh. Yeah. How do you like? This is just it. It was literally like people were freaking out because like she took a picture of like a place where he was also in. He wasn't even in the picture that she took. It was
how people will sleuth these things out. Things that I just can't even begin to fathom how people find these little details.
I mean, I'm all for it.
I would never because I'm much too lazy for that, but it's impressive.
I think it's like I'm pretty
about doing that. Like I'll see something on social media and I'll be like, oh, this would be interesting to investigate, and then I just don't do it. So I'm so grateful for the hardworking folks who do.
Yeah, I'm also in that boat. I think it's great that they're here to do silly things like this because I really can't be asked. And it's not silly. You're doing God's work, people.
I wonder what would happen if they applied their skills to like murder cases. But I think this is just as important.
Well, that was like when Reddit tried to find the Boston Marathon bomber and they like pinpointed some random dude and led the police in a wild goose chase. So
you know what though? I listen to a lot of murder podcasts, and there are instances where people on like web forums find new evidence that investigators haven't found. So it's possible.
They really do.
But I really prefer the "we did it" Reddit narrative, which is that Reddit ruins everything.
Nah.
Yeah.
I choose to push the angsty.
Did we see any interesting Coachella outfits, by the way?
A lot of people wearing all black.
Really?
Which is weird. Why? Why are you wearing all black to the desert in California? That just like feels like a mistake.
I feel like so I went to school in California, in LA, like 10 years ago, and I feel like back then when my classmates would go to Coachella, their outfits were cool and funky and hip, and I feel like all the outfits I've seen now look like the befores on those What Not to Wear shows, where it's like you don't know how anything goes together. It's like it's not even cool in a subversive way, like the Met Gala or something, where it's like, look at this crazy outfit. It's like you literally look like a toddler who got into thrift store.
Speaking of toddlers and thrift stores, Alex was wearing a romper, which apparently is a thing.
Wait, Alex who?
Huh?
Alex who?
Alex Bordyukov.
Oh, the guy?
Yeah. Like
into that.
A romper is a thing now. Like
yeah, man rompers.
Why?
Oh wow, this is funny.
What?
I'm just looking at his romper.
God.
Word.
Oh
no, that's just a two-piece set. This is the romper.
romper.
That's an unfortunate pattern that I thought we left back in the
2000s. I actually am gonna go. Huh?
A guy on Bachelor in Paradise Australia also came in with a romper.
Okay.
Dean is wearing all black. He looks like a weird cowboy that wanted to show his knees because they were sweating or something.
That happened in West.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I actually like the patterns.
Oh, this colorful orangey blue romper is where it's at.
I like the patterns. I just wish that people wouldn't wear rompers. Like, we're not toddlers. Can we not?
I just now you guys will finally understand what it's like to try and go to the bathroom in a one-piece outfit.
He was always kind of wild with his fashion though. Like he had multiple zebra striped suits, I believe.
He also has multiple abs, so there's that. I just am noticing.
You just noticed.
He could really wear whatever he wanted, and I would still be all about it.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's interesting. I think it's funny.
He has
his vibe.
What would he have to wear for you to be like, no?
That romper. Like, I mean, if he approached me in that, I'd be like, that's really funny. That's romper, but like, I'm not like into you more because of that.
Can't see abs in a romper.
Yeah. Please take your shirt off and then we'll talk about. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm right here.
And I'm also just kidding because that would be so terrible to say.
Right here. Yeah, it's like I feel like people are turning Coachella into like discount Burning Man.
Well, it's like it's just kind of interesting, the culture around it. It's all about like what you wear and who you're with. And it's like I feel like nobody talks about the lineup or the music or like
it's like high school.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like a high school reunion.
I feel like, oh, you mean, okay. I thought you were going to say it's like what you do in high school. And I was like, well, I feel like I went to music festivals in high school. I went to Warped Tour.
Oh, yes, Warped Tour.
God. Warped Tour.
Definitely not a fashion mecca.
No, it's about the music. And I don't have anything wrong with it. It's just interesting how Coachella has changed into like this weird culture just for like those few weekends or whatever.
Yeah, it's not even a festival so much as just a fashion gathering.
A fashion gathering and like who you know, who you see, what parties you go to. It's just so weird. I don't know.
It's like, you know, have you seen that that video on YouTube of like I just got back from Burning Man?
Yeah.
Have you seen this, honey? This, if you haven't seen it, it's very, very funny. And it summarizes like all of my feelings about all of these ridiculous festivals. Like the only music festival I ever went to was Lollapalooza, and Lollapalooza was awesome. But that's because it's downtown Chicago. Lolla's the best.
A couple years ago, it was so good.
Wait, when did you go?
2016. It was 2015 or 2016. Okay. And I saw Alabama Shakes, and I saw SZA, and I saw Cold War Kids, and I saw Paul McCartney, and all of them were fantastic. Alabama Shakes is a band that I really enjoy, but I didn't realize what a rock star their lead singer is. I mean, she's truly a modern day rock star.
Nice.
You went when?
2000. I went in 2012. So I saw Spoon. No, it wasn't Spoon. It was the Walkmen. They were playing then.
I love them. I saw them at the Vic here.
I saw them at U of I, and they were playing in like the student union, and I was really buzzed, and I was standing right next to the stage, and it was awesome. And that they're a really great band. Yeah. I saw them live at Lolla. That was great. I saw at the drive-in, that was their first reunion show, and it was dope. There was a mosh pit in the mud because that was the day that it was the day after these massive storms. One of our friends was her dad was a producer. So we were behind the stage for Sigur Rós. I do not like Sigur Rós, so that's
amazing.
Drinks. And then I saw Jack White, which was a big letdown. And I passed up the opportunity to see Justice, which made me sad. I should have seen Justice and not Jack White. But
hey guys, so yeah, super cool. But I have a theory or a conspiracy idea here. Not even that. I think I'm just saying those words. Anyways, what do you think that if they, like, let's say they took out the bands from Coachella and like just didn't say anything, they just advertised Coachella, do you think people would still show up in their outfits and just walk around and even take pictures?
Yep.
100%.
They would make even more money. So
well, Beyonce, I think Beyonce was the draw.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That like you need to like if all you did was bring out like Kanye, maybe not so much Kanye right now, but like Kanye like a week ago. If you brought out a Kanye from a week ago and just put him on stage at Coachella for like 5 minutes and then took him off, you'd still sell all the tickets.
Yeah, that's interesting. Anyways, that's just my little thought.
So
moving on. Oh, go on. Sorry.
Thing I was gonna say. I feel like maybe, and this is maybe a reach or whatever, but we're living in this like culture of people being celebrities for the sake of celebrities. I wonder if it kind of goes hand in hand with music festivals showing up for the sake of showing up and taking pictures and not really.
Oh, for sure. For sure, 100%.
For sure.
For sure. And it's off season. We're here to like elaborate and talk randomly. Okay, so anyways, moving on from Coachella.
Yeah.
We got into this weird like
that's fine. I like the weird
I know, I liked it.
So Spivey, our queen, called out Robbie for his lovely antics involving our friend Amanda Stanton.
I can't with this dude. Like I genuinely wonder if he thinks this makes him look good.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing that gets me. It's like, what's the angle here? Like, how does this win? How is this a win for you?
A grown man who's like sending his ex notices for his Disneyland pass, and you think that makes you look situation?
His Disneyland pass on her debit card. Let's not forget the fact that he signed up a Disneyland pass on a debit card under his name.
She's the one who makes all the money on Instagram, and he's not a real influencer.
Well, also, like, I love the logic. It's like, oh, like, I got this for your kids, but I am the only one who uses it, so you should pay it for me. Like,
I'm not knocking Disneyland annual passes because I like had one as an adult myself when I lived in LA, but like, man, that's not the way to make yourself look mature.
I also love how he deleted all of his responses to Amanda. So it looked like she was crazy. He was like scrolling through all of her responses, be like, LOL, what a crazy bitch. And I was like, what? No, that's incorrect.
Roommate who, when I first moved in, she showed me all these nasty messages from someone who had just moved out, a previous roommate, like nasty messages to her. And I was like, oh my God, this is insane. Like, what would provoke him? Like, he's a crazy person. And then come to find out she was completely insane. And when I moved out, she sent me all these horrific, like personal attack messages. And I was like, oh, you clearly deleted all of your messages to this guy. Like, that's a classic, I think I'm not the crazy one move.
Yeah.
It was just such a crap move. What did Spivey say to him?
Spivey was calling him out saying, I'm going to write an encyclopedia of all of the Bachelor fuckboys, and we're going to start with Robbie and James Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Use Robbie.
I love how she's not afraid to say these things.
She said Robbie, and I think we corrected her. I am very curious.
We said, we appreciate you, but I think you spelled his name wrong. Just kidding.
I'm very curious to hear her thoughts on this when she comes on.
I love her so much. I have always loved her because she's been on Here to Make Friends a few times, and her voice is so soothing.
Yeah,
it's very soothing. It contrasts my grating monotone.
That's okay. I just love how she's not afraid to say things because I would be terrified personally. So
why would you be terrified?
I don't know. I'm afraid of the internet.
It's the internet.
That's a very legitimate fear.
Yeah, like I'm afraid to say my opinions and get the backlash, but then again, sometimes you should say what you want to say. So I don't know.
I get you. Like sometimes I'll post a comment in like another sub on Reddit because like our subreddit, like I don't know if I've ever been downvoted on our subreddit. Like I feel like people are pretty good about that, but like other subreddits, like attacks and the vitriol is so upsetting, and like I have a very strong need to be liked, and so like I can't deal with that. Like I've definitely deleted comments, not because I'm like ashamed of what I said, but just because I don't want to, it gives me such anxiety to see that little orange box and be like, oh my god, someone's gonna about to be say a mean thing to me. Like
I know, like I just don't want to deal with it. But then again, you should like stick up for what you believe in and what you want to say, and eventually I feel like I've gotten better at it, and I feel like you start to get used to it, and it, but I don't know. But my fun little story about why I'm afraid of the internet is because I used to, and I don't care, I'm gonna call them out. I'm gonna finally I'm like saying that and I'm reconsidering it, but I used to post a lot on makeup addiction. And I don't care what anybody says. Maybe they've gotten better, but they were very much not a nice community. So I mean, sometimes it's fine and you'll get nice comments in the sub, but sometimes you say something and people like freak out very quickly. And then also I would get like cross posted into other subs making fun of me and stuff. And like I feel like at that point, and I know I'm like proud of what I did and I don't have a problem with it, but it's almost like I just don't want to have to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to feed into their need to be like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the relationship sub can kind of be like that too, like very highlighty about the things that they think about things and very black and white.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this my boyfriend, he said a mean thing to me. You gotta fucking break up with this dude and you've gotta kick him out and call the cops because he's abusing you. He said, but all he did was he said that he didn't like my cooking. Doesn't matter. Red flag. This is abuse behavior. Get this motherfucker out of your life right now.
I get that there's certain things like don't take crap, but I don't know.
Well, they especially do that with like family stuff where it's like, cut off your entire family now. It's like, do you understand how drastic that is?
I did it. You can do it too.
And it's also not easy to make that decision. So even if for some odd reason that's the best decision, which most of the time it isn't, sometimes it is. Sometimes you just need to set clear boundaries, whatever it may be. It's just so weird that they jump to that. Like it's not that easy for people to just do these things that you're magically coming up with.
Why not? They're just people.
I don't know.
I just love reading relationships for the salty trolls. Best. I
got banned from there, which was probably a good thing. For making a joke, somebody was like clearly trolling like some sort of red pill kind of person, like talking about women, and I was like, oh, talking about being alpha, and I was like, oh, just burn her house down, that'll show her how alpha you are, and I got banned for that comment.
Yeah, they don't take trolling very well.
That's really though.
So I post a lot of men as the mod. I get like, I think for every nice comment I get like 5 comments telling me to go kill myself. So
cool.
I'm used to hate. It's fun getting people salty about a comment on the internet. Is just like, it's the best. It's like, oh, like why are you so mad? Like it's the fucking internet.
Like, chill. You shouldn't have so much personal stake in this.
But now we know how the 3rd or 4th most prolific commenter on our subreddit got where she is. Her obsessive need to be liked. Never been downloaded on the subreddit. Wow. Welcome to the fucking party, pal. Wish I was like that.
It's honestly kind of impressive, I must say.
Yeah, you've got like, in 1 year, you've got like 60,000 comment karma. That's pretty fucking amazing.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Get it, girl.
Yeah, did you see the post where like, I found I like did all the querying and like you're like number 4 on the subreddit.
Whoa, we got some royalty on our podcast.
Yeah,
this crazy. And yet no one asked me to do an AMA.
Yeah,
so
well,
honestly, so rude.
Honestly, that's her fault. I'm gonna call out that person.
No.
I don't remember her name.
Oh my gosh.
So what are we talking about?
Okay, so I guess we can move on to Ashley I's comment, which I'm really terrified to even get into.
Yeah, let's be nice. Let's be gentle here.
Yeah.
So yes. Ashley I said, let's set context.
I don't even want to say it. Can we just say like go look it up?
I'll say it.
Okay.
Ashley I said, quote unquote, whenever I take a really good selfie, I take a good hard look at it and then decide I look like a tranny. Am I alone in this?
I am afraid to talk. I gotta say, I don't think it was a good thing to say at all, but like, or to think, but I don't necessarily think she meant it maliciously. I just think she doesn't quite, I don't know the right word for it, but like doesn't understand almost. I don't know. Does anybody else?
I guess
What about?
So I thought that I appreciated her apology. I will say I'm very sensitive to comments like this because my little brother is trans, and to me, in this day and age, ignorance isn't really an excuse for comments like that.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Like we should all know better at this point, especially if you should know, like, if you're posting something with a term like that, there's no way you don't know that that's charged.
Yeah. And I also think that term is like inherently offensive, right? Like that's not even like it's not even an okay thing to say in any situation.
And there are all kinds of connotations. Comment, not just the term, but the context in which it was used, implying that there's something inherently bad about looking like a transgender person or looking like somebody who, it's just, that there's something negative about that.
Yeah. I think that's
offensive.
And I don't even know if I can have a huge opinion on it because it's kind of like how certain things for me are really prevalent in my life and I have a strong connection with them and I know the culture and I know things about it or whatever it may be. And like, I'm obviously going to have a much better perspective on how that's wrong or how whatever it may be. So yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I can't have much of a, not that I can't have an opinion, but sometimes I don't know what to say because I don't know. Like I haven't been through it,
Yeah, I mean,
what was that? Sorry.
It's the same thing as like when authoritatively on women or when white people speak authoritatively on the Black experience, like you just really can't like. And I don't want to speak for trans people certainly, but I know I speak for my brother when I say that like comments like this really damage.
Damage what? Sorry,
like
I think you cut out.
Him. Like the sense of humanity of people who are like, no, this is like, this is something that's an integral part of my identity, and for you to like treat it as though it's this funny offhand comment is really demonizing.
Yeah, I think it's like, like I know personally, I don't have any experience with transgender people. I know some, but it's not something it's like I'm super like integrated into society. But I also know that I live in an age where if I'm unsure about something, I have this handy little device called a phone that has access to the internet that allows me to search and maybe do a little bit of research before I say something stupid. And so,
and we'll just open your mind too,
Yeah, I mean, like I think that a lot of the complaints about like people doing this stuff, I don't think that people are asking to be. I don't think that like, and this is just like my opinion, and anyone can take this with a grain of salt and can send me hateful PMs because God knows we'll probably deserve
not
it.
even hateful PMs, but just feel free to like say what you feel.
I don't think that
other people to tell you.
Yeah, I don't think that like people are asking for everyone to become experts on their identity. I think that all people are asking for is to at least, if you're unsure about something, if not ask someone who knows, at least have the common decency to Google it. Like, I think that knowledge is important, and it's not like.
Oh, that's fair. I don't know why anybody would be mean at you about that. I feel like that's.
I don't know. I mean,
all that said, I don't think it was the worst thing in the world. I think that her apology was a real apology, and I genuinely learned something from it, or at least, manufacture that sentiment. And, like, I know I didn't run it by my brother because he, like, Bachelor, but he would not be up in arms about a comment like that. It would just be kind of an eye roll moment probably for him.
Right. But it doesn't mean that, I don't know.
Wow, we did it.
But yeah, you can't necessarily always say the exact right thing. I know I've said things out of ignorance before, and so I think that's the best you can hope.
Yeah.
You try and you learn.
Yeah.
Wow, we did that, and that was pretty painless. I'm proud of everybody.
Maybe, hopefully it was painless, but I don't know. But yes, so
let's talk about Channing Tatum.
This is more. We can funny this. We can funny this one.
Yeah, Ari and Channing Tatum are hanging out. Apparently, Ari.
How do we know this?
So Instagram. Apparently, Ari. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, BRB guys.
Ari is hosting. Apparently, there's like this. Celebrities get in F1 cars and race with F1 drivers, and since Ari is a relatively famous F1 driver, he's driving some people around.
Oh my gosh!
And one of them was Trisha Helfer, and Channing Tatum's been in a couple pictures.
He was just racing there. They're not like BFFs. Yeah. Everyone's making it sound like they're BFFs.
They are BFFs.
No, they aren't.
They are.
You're just saying that.
Can't Channing Tatum get into a racing car without having to talk to Ari? Like, doesn't he have connections for that?
Well, right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was making the joke before this that the reason Channing and his wife got separated is it's all Ari's fault. But I'm teasing, guys. I'm teasing.
Wait, do we know that Channing Tatum was cheating on his wife?
Yes.
No. Do we know?
We do.
How do we know?
So he was at an LSU game because I believe he went to LSU. Or he was at an LSU game in a private box, and he had a girl on his lap, and and there are pictures of him making out with this girl.
Channing, no.
What?
Yeah.
That's rude. Were they separated before this?
Huh?
Were they separated before this?
No. This was back when they were married.
Oh shoot! Come on now.
I don't like beyond being scummy. It's just stupid. Like you're gonna get your picture taken. You're a celebrity.
Well, no one ever said he was smart.
I guess, but that's another level. Because She's the Man with Amanda Bynes is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh my gosh, yes, I love that movie. I watched it 50,000 times.
So here's how my love affair with She's the Man started. I was in high school when it came out, and a friend of mine said, let's go see this movie. And I said, never in a million years. And so it's the only movie I've ever snuck into because I refused to pay for it. And then I saw it twice more in theaters, and I own 2 copies of that movie just in case one gets damaged.
Oh, what? I need to watch. I'm actually probably going to watch this tonight. So I think I was a little bit younger. Get over it. Okay. I think I was a little younger. I think I was in junior high, and we always used to go to rent movies on like Friday or Saturday nights. It was the best, and I really miss movie stores. And sorry. What?
Back. The last show that I was in was called Oh Blockbuster, Where Art Thou? And some of the sketches were about bringing Blockbuster back.
I love that. Even for the nostalgia purposes, even for shits and giggles, just to walk in and be like, ooh, what movies are out? You know what would be kind of cool? Sorry, I'm totally taking this off the rails for a second because I get that people don't want to leave their house, but wouldn't it be like cute for a movie store that was just open on like Fridays and Saturdays? I'm now realizing how they would never make money, but anyways, just let me have this moment. And like, maybe you don't like take the actual DVD with you, but you walk in and you scan it and you like rent it for the night or whatever, but you get to walk around and like see all the new movies, and they sell like popcorn and snacks and like all these like movie essentials, and then you go home and watch it.
I'm into that.
Wouldn't that be so cute? I realize that they could probably never make money, but I kind of have a hope inside me that they could.
I believe.
I kid you not, when I was thinking about it recently, I was like, I would totally love to open like a retro Blockbuster where it was like the whole point was like that was the theme, and I was like, those stores went under. There's a reason that they don't work anymore.
I know, right? What
an idea that is defunct.
I know, but it's so like the warm, comforting feeling. Like it's just so nice. I wonder if you could pair it with something like a bar or something, like I don't know, a coffee shop to like help make the money just so that you could have the movie store.
I'm gonna build a place.
Gourmet popcorn that they make you to go with whatever movie you're watching. I'm going off the rails, people. I'm going off the deep end.
Y'all are crazy.
Let's take it to Shark Week. Mark Cuban, what up?
Hear us out.
Y'all are crazy.
Oh my gosh, it would be so fun though.
Wait, I have the name. Popbuster.
Oh, yes. All right.
$.
Y'all are crazy.
Nobody steal our idea, but also you can if you would make it happen. So
We have to censor this whole part of the podcast.
they're going to take our idea.
No one's going to take your idea.
You have no faith in us?
A little faith.
That requires people to listen to the podcast.
Warren Buffett will write his book about Popbuster.
Reinventing.
Warren
Ooh,
Buffett.
it'll be called Reinventing the Invented. That's a stupid name, but
I like it.
I like it.
That was a good name for a book.
Wait, that's what reinventing means.
Yeah.
Oh
You're
my,
reinventing.
am I high? Is the Washington air like making me high and I don't even know it? Because that was the stupidest
It's
idea.
close to 420.
All right, the rest of my ideas were good.
I like it.
I think me and Honey, I'm sorry, have something, but it's fine.
It's good. I like it. You should do it. I'll invest.
Oh, we were talking about Channing Tatum. So, anyways,
Channing Tatum.
so he's doing this celebrity car race thingy.
Yeah.
For what?
I don't know.
Okay, good talk.
I don't know. He wants to be in a car. What do you want from me?
No. Ari is doing like a celebrity.
Oh,
thing.
because Ari wants to be relevant.
Well, yes, but I'm trying to here. Let's see what they have to say about it.
I just don't. It makes me tired to
fundraising.
think about Ari.
Let's think about our next topic.
I don't like that people are still accepting like everything magically, like it's all perfect again, but whatever.
Not ever.
We're always going to do it because there's a large portion of people who watch this show because they have to believe in this fairy tale love story. And if Ari's a piece of shit and Lauren's a piece of shit, and it takes something away from their life.
Yeah.
But they are.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I just don't appreciate the way. But it's fine. Anyways, doesn't matter. I'm hurt.
Instead of thinking about Ari, let's think about Tia. Because Tia is sneaky. Or Tia tries to be sneaky.
Kenny was
posting on social media with all these obvious photoshops.
Allegedly.
No, they were obvious photoshops. There's one where her elbow is like the size of her thigh. Like,
oh, I want to see
yeah,
it.
she took it down.
Oh man. I'm always too late.
I'm going to take an unpopular stance on this that
Please do.
get why people are like up in arms about this or like think it's like this crazy scandal. Like, I don't edit my photos much, but like sometimes there's just a thing and I'll just like edit it. And if I got called out on it, I'd probably delete it too because I'd feel weird about it.
That's fair. I don't have a problem with it. I just, I how do I say it? Like anybody can do what they want. I guess I don't believe in it for the sake of like making, I don't know how to, because I also like photography and I like editing. But I don't like how everyone, I'm like starting to stutter. I don't like how everyone does it and like completely changes themselves because they think that they don't look good. I get it for the fact of like, oh, that's a weird angle, which possibly could have just been what she was doing, you know?
I guess I sympathize with her because look at how brutal people are on social media to these women. And I think especially going on the show a lot of times gives them this crazy complex about how they look, especially with all the negative feedback that they get. And especially if you're a woman who is really beautiful and have been told a lot that your worth is based on your looks. I get it. I totally get it.
I get that too, but I also am going to sound crazy for a minute and say that I don't think that we should be giving in to people's ideas of how we should look, because then we're just harming each other, being like, oh yeah, let me edit myself so that I feel good about myself, but then people think like, oh, that's the way I should look and I don't. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Sure. No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that for sure. Yeah. I think like when it comes to Bachelor people, I think should is something that's really
right. Yeah.
hard to have enter the picture because these are not role models a lot of the time.
And you know what? Who wants to be the first person to step out there and be vulnerable? So I totally get it.
Here's what I don't get.
And I don't think it should.
Yeah, because you don't know what the response is going to be.
Right. And I don't think that this all lies on Tia to solve it. So I don't want people to think that either. Okay, sorry, RK, you can go. I just wanted to say that.
I don't care about stigma. Like, if you want to edit your photos, edit your photos.
Yeah.
But at least make it good.
You have a problem with the bad.
I don't.
That's your beef.
Why is your elbow the size of your thigh? Like, that's just like, if you're gonna edit your photo, like, I mean, if you're doing this to be wacky, then like whatever, like more power to you. That's cool, I guess. But like, it was very obvious. It was like like I don't like this imperfection, so I'm gonna edit it. And it's like, that's fine. Like, if you don't like, there are plenty of times where I've looked at a picture of me and be like, man, like if I could just get rid of that thing because I don't have access to Photoshop on my phone, I would do it. But like, it would be like a tiny thing, not like making my elbow the size of the Grand Canyon. Like, that's just the thing that gets me.
If I
don't
were
care.
Like an influencer of some sort, the first thing I would do would be to hire a social media manager, because I am terrible with all this stuff. And again, like, have a pathological need to be liked. So negative comments would like really bum me out. So that's the first thing I do to catch stuff like this.
Would you be like Rubby, who like blocks anybody who says anything mean about him?
Block people, I don't think. Only because
Only because you what? Sorry.
It's like I'd feel bad knowing that they saw that they were blocked. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So I agree with you. First thing you do, hire a social media. You want to take it super seriously and you're obviously getting a lot of followers or something. But even then it can help you like build your following. But then also, I'm not gonna lie, if I was somehow in the internet business, I would hire someone to filter out comments, not constructive criticism ones, but go through and ones that were blatantly like crazy, just get them out of there. Because I don't think that seeing that constantly can be good for anybody. So if you have this random third party that it's not about them, that they can kind of run through it really quick, I think that's a good idea.
Well, and
I would be the same way.
Especially because people are so nasty. I mean, it's not even stuff like you look ugly. It's stuff like you're like would die and that your whole family would die. Like, nobody needs to read that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be about it makes me feel bad about myself. It would be like it's ruining my faith in humanity to read these comments.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, here's what I've figured out. Like, after being told to kill myself many, many times, you have to understand. So, like, I used to read this old comic called Penny Arcade. And if you have never read it, I would recommend reading, like, go back to the beginning, read, like, a little. It's very funny, and then it stopped being funny right when the art started turning to shit. But, like, they have this theory of, like, it's called the John Gabriel theory of internet anonymity. So it's like, if you put yourself in a position where you're obscured and you don't know who you are, or no one knows who you are, it's super easy to be an asshole. And so everyone's just gonna be an asshole.
Oh yeah.
And so like, and if you're an asshole and you're anonymous, you're gonna be even more of an asshole.
Yeah.
So it's like all of this stuff is just like accrued all the way up. So like everyone's just like an asshole. And like comment sections are just absolute garbage. Like YouTube, Instagram.
Not always, but yeah.
Yeah. Reddit's pretty bad.
Well,
like, people pretend like Reddit's like this good thing. Like, guys, you haven't been to the really shitty parts of Reddit where like guys are talking about how they want to keep women on farms and treat them like livestock.
That's
like
insane.
You haven't like gotten to that level of trash.
So can I just say something? And I'm not trying to call certain people unnormal, but I think most pretty normal adult age people don't usually comment on a lot of social media things. I mean, right? Am I wrong or am I right?
I don't know. I don't know what the
like sometimes I will comment things, but I don't feel the need to go out of my way and like say something crazy
what
or
I'll
like
say is that I think it really depends. I think this is one of those things where you can potentially end up in what could be called an echo chamber where like and the people that I spend my time with and choose to spend my time with are all people, like most of them are artists, all of them are very liberal. Most of them have something going on besides like their day job. They have social lives. They have like a fulfilling life in various small and big ways. I think there is a large portion of the population, and I remember when I was working, my first like job was at Costco when I was in college, and the people that I worked with are the kind of people on social media, the kind of people who they hate their job, they go home, they have that makes them happy or fulfilled, all of that frustration and suck all of that energy up by people on social media. And it makes them, I don't know if it makes them feel better. I don't know what necessarily the motivation is because, you know, I never to it with them, but I think that there is a large subset of the population that just straight up doesn't have a lot going on. Yeah. And I think those are the people who you see in comment sections being nasty to complete strangers.
I agree with that because it's not only like that on the internet, but it's like that in real life too. Like maybe people aren't as forward about it, but I've definitely been able to tell like certain people I've talked about my life. Like to be honest, I feel like I'm a very, I don't know how to say it, artsy type person. So everything I want to do might seem, I don't even like saying that it's far-fetched, but it's not what people feel comfortable hearing about when they ask you what you're doing with your life. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
So, yeah. So, and you'll like get that in real life from people, like they feel the need to tell you you're wrong because the decisions they made weren't right for them or whatever. So I think it's like that on the internet, but like magnified because they can't see you. So I basically what I'm saying is, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I think that's a big part of it.
I mean, like, yeah, like we talk about that in like regular life too, right? Like my friends and I at the gym, like we talk about basketball. Oh, like there's this guy who like, I'm a Boston sports fan. And so I'm aware of how annoying sports fans can be, but he's like that, but not a Boston fan. So it's like, I get this. And it's like he talks like all this crap, like, oh, these players, like, oh, they should be playing better. Like you and I, like we work out all the time. Like it's not that hard. And it's like that, like
they're professionals.
I know. Oh, I know. Believe me, I made that point. But like the point that I'm trying to take from this is that like everyone gets in their head and they get into they think they're in their like own little world. And that they're just like, they are the experts. And so like, I feel like the internet kind of allows you to be in your own little world on a much bigger scope. Because like normally people are talking about like, everyone knows their thing. Everyone's got their thing. So they think they're the expert on their thing. And then when you're talking to like random people, it's like, oh, like 95% of the time, like nobody else I know is going to be able to talk about like the weeb shit that I talk about. So like, but on the internet, everyone knows it, right? Like you can find like your own where you all circle jerk and just spew garbage on the internet, and it makes it super easy. And so like that's the kind of it's like those creating these little echo chambers where everyone can just yell. You get these super toxic opinions.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I just want to say I don't think we're talking about people who like say nice things on the internet or have like been a fan of somebody and might feel the need to be like, I think it would be cool if you did this, like constructive things. So not saying that, but the more crazy things.
Oh, there was an anime that was airing. No,
here we go. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa, no. So this is an example.
I'm sorry.
That was airing, and there was an episode that was very controversial, and a lot of people got really mad to the point at which they started circle jerking in their little subreddits and echo chambers, and then started tweeting death threats to the voice actor.
What?
Like she had any say in what happened, like, oh, I'm gonna kill you if your character doesn't do the thing I want. It's like it's already recorded, number one. Number two,
I didn't write this.
I know. Like
misplaced anger is so common though. Like I work at a facility where I work with kids, and like I will get parents on the phone who will scream at me about the way that the instructor treated their kids, and I'm like, we literally rent out our facility to these people. Like it's not even our organization, let alone me, that's interacting with your kid. It's insane how people will just yell at the first person in front of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just wanted to say, how fucking dare you, honey? How dare you do whatever the
I accept your criticism and I'll work on it because I really want you to like me.
Oh my gosh, no, yell back.
Like we came full circle. So, quick update on Raven's fashion sense.
Oh no, I feel really bad talking about this.
It's great. Let's move on.
No.
So Yuki's back in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly she's going to be on Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh.
Rate your excitement on this on a scale of 1 to sugoi.
Oh. What's sugoi?
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you're gonna be so mad at me.
I don't
fan.
I don't care. You're not a fan?
No, I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan on Winter Games. I don't have anything against her, and from all accounts from people who lived in the house with her, she's a wonderful, super positive person, which I think is great. I wasn't a fan of the way the show treated her existence, and I just felt her a little annoying, honestly.
I think she's a nice person, and because of that, I don't want her on the show. I think that anyone who I feel like there is no such thing as going on the show multiple times and coming out looking better. So I like her. She was endearing enough so that I was like, oh, like I could tell, like, oh, she seems like a nice person, but she's clearly, like, based on her edit alone, it's clear that the producers are just fucking her over.
Yeah.
So, like, I really want her not anywhere near. I really want her away from this show completely. And so in that sense, I don't want Yuki. In the other sense, you think what?
Is the second you get a good edit, never go on the show again.
Correct.
Leave. Become internet famous.
Taylor and Derek, they got the good edit. Done. They're out.
Yeah. And so did well, they got married though. Oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking. Jaden Tanner.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, they got it. Did you know that Nick and Liz had sex at Jaden Tanner's wedding? No, so I bring this
I thought you were gonna bring up some juicy info.
No. The context for this. So if you didn't read my theory crafting post, you should. What I did was there is a database that has all of the Reddit comments made over the past year. I filtered it down to the Bachelor sub and then performed some analysis to find out like the most important words in the sub from last year. And Jaden Tanner's wedding, like Jade, Tanner, and wedding were like top 5. We talked about that wedding so goddamn much.
Oh my God, we're Liz.
We are Liz.
Uh-oh.
We are who we wanted to avoid.
Oh, no.
That's so funny.
So yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of things that we've talked about way too much, but we'll do again. Apparently, Becca Tilley is flirting with Dean.
No, why is Dean snatching up all these ladies?
Or been in the franchise. I watched Chris's season after it aired, and I would literally, this is the only time I've ever done this, I would fast forward through her dates because I could not sit through them.
They were really boring.
Oh.
The only reason I feel like I really remember her is because she looks like Carrie Underwood, and I can't stop talking about it.
Oh, she was the other version.
Huh?
Oh,
She was the other version.
What do you mean?
Like, her and Ashley I were both virgins on Chris's season.
Oh, the other virgin. I thought you said the other version.
No, virgin.
A virgin.
Virgin.
I totally forgot about that. You know why? Because it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I love how nonchalant she was about it too. She was like, she got down to the final 3. She's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm saving myself till marriage. Hope you're okay with that. And meanwhile, Ashley I had like a panic attack, and she was crying. She's like,
Yeah, that was good.
I was like, I really respected Becca.
Good on ya, yeah. Like whatever.
I really respected Becca for that. I was like, okay, cool, that's like your preference. And Chris was like, I really like her, but I want to have sex. But I really like her, and he ended up sending her home.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated how she was just like,
Wasn't into him anyway.
What?
She wasn't into him anyway.
Yeah, no, not at all.
And Becca is a weird combo.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. I think it's just like flirting.
Why? Isn't it weird that like all these people? I guess it's not weird though. Just like start dating each other. It reminds me of like my small town where everyone eventually like.
Here's what I'll say is that The Bachelor is a really unique experience. And I remember, so I toured teaching theater for a year, and it was this insane, very intense experience. We were in a different town every week. You're with one other person. You teach 60 kids a week. Really, truly, you teach an entire full-length show in a week. And I would talk to people about it, and it was clear when I was talking about it, like, understand what this entailed. You can't unless you do it. And I think that's kind of what The Bachelor is, where you cannot understand how intense of an experience it is psychologically and physically and emotionally until you do it. And I think that's what pushes people together, because they have this shared like trauma almost.
That's true. Shows. And they can understand each other and what they've been through, but not that. Also, like, if you had a bad out into the world and people are like weird about dating you, whereas like another person from the Bachelor franchise / community, I don't know, they are willing to overlook that and like get to know you normally because they might have had a bad edit, or they understand how they were looked upon differently or whatever. So that's true.
Yeah. Well, I think also, like, to some extent, it's probably also why celebrities date each other, because you know that person's not, or you can, that person's not just with you because you're recognizable and they want to latch on to you.
Yeah. But also like work schedules and weird things like that, they're going to be much more understanding of.
Yeah.
Your follower count, you know, which is so important.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always afraid, like, if we talk to people from The Bachelor, I'm like, I don't want people to think we're using them for their following count. I just, like, want to know about them and their experiences.
It's so fascinating.
Yeah, or if I just think they're cool, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's weird. I can understand why you would kind of, like, section yourself off and do that.
Do your thing. Well, I think the thing that I think the thing I learned from Taylor... Sorry, I think the thing I learned from Taylor when she was talking to us about it was the way she phrased it was, I'm always down to meet people, and if that's an experience that I use to bond with someone, I'm not going to see them as a fan until they start acting like one.
Or just like don't be weird about it and be like, I don't know.
That was the other one that she said.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
If you could be friends with anyone from the franchise, aside from Ashley Spivey, obviously, because she's...
Yeah, we would be friends with her if we could.
Hang out with us, Spivey.
Who would you be friends with?
Ooh, and then we're gonna ask you that too. I think there's actually quite a few people that I think are cool, but I don't know. Now that I have to think about it, I don't know. Ooh, I mean, Taylor seems cool and she lives in Seattle, so shout out to that, because yay, Seattle. But another person that's like not so recent would probably be wow, I can't even remember her name. How am I like trying to pick somebody and I don't even know their name?
Do you remember?
Oh my gosh, I know who she is, I just can't think of it.
Who's season?
She's from Canada. She's petite.
Caitlin.
I love Caitlin.
I would. Harrison was fucking hysterical.
Yeah, she's so funny. She's so like, she seems chill. She seems like she'd be a good friend. I like her. I like
Charlene would be one of mine. Charlene's awesome.
I'm trying to think of somebody.
Charlene.
Charlene, you think?
Yeah.
What are yours?
I want to say something about because when she was on the podcast, like, she was super nice, like, and I think that's probably why I want to hang out with her, because we've talked with her.
Yeah.
And like, I know that like she's like a really nice person. She's super sweet.
Same with Spivey. Yes. I think Yeah,
I think that those two stick out in my mind.
But that's only because we've probably had like actual interactions with them. Yeah. Lindsay Gavin from the Canada seasons, she seemed really cool, again because we talked to her.
Yeah, Danielle Lombard would be another, because I've talked with her and she's super nice.
See, I think it's when you like actually speak to them in real life, you're like, oh, you seem normal.
Jacqueline is another.
Yeah.
And obviously I just want to hang out with Chris Harrison and like,
Chris Harrison for sure.
Yeah, that would be like Caitlin's podcast with him. That is like my dream.
I still love Caitlin the most. What?
I mean, I don't drink wine.
And just slam some
Pinot.
Let's do it.
I feel like he would drink like low-cal white.
Oh God. I mean, if he's got a wine cellar, he's probably drinking fine ass.
I know, I'm just teasing. That's just like my version of him. But
who's-
anyways, I think there's lots of chill people. But what about you?
Yeah, who's your
Chris Harrison wears a man girdle?
Wait, what?
he what?
Do you think that he wears a man girdle?
Oh, do I think?
I mean, I don't know, but I would. Like,
No.
if I was a man and I was on TV, probably.
I think he does.
Do you?
Okay, so yeah, for sure, I think he does. Definitely Jacqueline. I loved her on the show, and I loved like her take on stuff on podcasts that I listen to. The other one from this season that I would love to hang out with, I think, is Marique. We didn't see a whole lot of her on the show, and I thought she was kind of like a little bit on the show, but I heard her on a podcast, and she is super smart. She's very thoughtful. She seems so sweet. So I'd like to hang out with her. I too believe in glam.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
Chelsea. Chelsea would be another one who I think would be for Chelsea.
I've been watching BIP Australia, and
Queen
Sam and Tara.
Tara is the best.
They are so fucking funny. Sam has actually made me laugh out loud multiple times watching. He's very clever.
Yeah.
Seems like the most fun person in the world. So adorable. Like, I love them so much. This past week when spoiler, skip if you don't, unless you don't want me to say a spoiler.
I don't. Why would it be why is it a spoiler? Is it already aired?
This week, yeah.
It's
I haven't seen it.
Spoiler, skip like 5 seconds or whatever. Just say it.
Sam and Tara say that they love each other for the first time. I gasped out loud. I had a visceral reaction. The only other time that's ever happened to me was watching Jade and Tanner say I love you, which is tainted now. But I love them so much, both of them. So I would love to be best friends with both of them.
Yeah, I love Tara. She's the best. She's so funny. I love her voiceovers on BIP Australia. It's like, oh, look at this piece of crap. Oh my God, that's me in a mirror. I'm like, oh my God, this is me.
That's really funny. That's so funny.
I also would love to be friends with Rachel, although I feel like she might be a little intense for me.
Yeah. She seems like a cool person, though.
Yeah.
I don't know, though, because, yeah.
So.
Sometimes it's hard because people's edits and you think they're really cool, but you don't know because you actually know them. So it's like, well, I don't know.
I think if there's one thing I've learned from talking to contestants is that every contestant is much nicer than they appear.
I feel like Raven would be like one of those like really close friends. Not Raven. Oh my gosh. Not Raven. Rachel would be like one of those really close friends that's like really wise and would like tell you all like really good, like
an
like you could have like really good talks with her.
Yeah, she's the friend who has her shit together where you're like, my therapist, I talk to you.
Yeah, like where she would be fun and she'd be a fun friend. Keeping it real, you know, keeping it 100. But like she would just be like a really solid friend, you know.
Oh, speaking of her season, I would also love to be friends with Kenny.
Yes.
Oh, Kenny.
I love Kenny. So cool.
Is his real name Kenny?
I'd love to be friends with Alex Borty, but really I just want to date him.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, you don't. You want to date him. Get yourself matching rompers. Wear them in your Insta pics. Tag him. Love will happen.
It hurts me.
Perfect.
Not creepy at all.
Let's move on to a section called Rose of the Week.
Rose of the Week.
Rose of the Week. This is where we talk about people in the sub or on Bachelor Nation who've really gone above and beyond. And I want to give a special shout out to Lois and the Love and J-Rock Giraffe for their threads and posts about the pets of Bachelor Nation. I thought that was cute.
That was very cute.
We posted on the Instagram. It was good.
We love pets.
So talk to us about your goodest boys and girls.
Of the Bachelor?
No, about your pets.
Oh.
I know you have cats.
We started an Instagram for one of our cats.
Yes.
I love it.
Our other one won't pose for photos. So it's Han the Cat Solo on Instagram.
Okay, following it now.
Yeah, we just
like,
started. So my best friend and I adopted 2 cats together about 2 years ago. So they're Han Solo and Luna Lovegood, and they're freaking adorable. Has been into something, she gets really into it. So she's been sending me like a billion articles about how to make your pet famous on Instagram. This is a social media manager because I'm not interested in social media at all. And like I barely update my own Instagram, let alone like having to post at optimal times pictures of my cat. Pictures of him. So I've been just sending pictures to my best friend and having her post them. But if you want to follow him, he's very cute, he's very dumb, and we're working on finding the aesthetic for his Instagram.
I feel like cat or like pet Instagrams are the perfect outlet because like I'll be out with friends or like people that I meet and we talk about showing pictures, and it's like that whole joke about popcorn when you start off eating it slowly and then you're like shoving it in your mouth or whatever, that 10,000 people have made that joke. Same as with like pet photos. You like start off like, oh yeah, I guess I have like a few photos I could show you, and you show like 1 or 2 and you're like, yeah, so funny. And then you like get into it and you like start showing so many photos and you see their eyes starting to glaze over and they're trying to like turn away and stop
These are my
looking, and
children.
you can't
You
stop.
don't understand.
You're just like, look, there's more. So
Look.
I feel like the Instagram is good because you can post all the photos you want and everyone can look at them at their own leisure and they're there because they want to be.
And honestly, if you don't like every single one of our cat pictures, then you're basically the devil.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my thought for pet Instagram.
We have 2 cats. Their names are Suka and Kutia.
And we tried to make an Instagram called West Coast Bitches.
Yeah, but
because their names mean
bitch.
Yeah, in different languages, and we're not sorry about it. And so we thought that, oh, what like a funny way to put it in a porn page, so we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But anyways, yeah, we
They're
have 2
adorable.
cats. They're cute.
They're adorable.
We love them.
I love them.
We're obsessed. I literally cried like 45 minutes the other day because they're really little, but like we were watching some movie or something and I thought about like when my cats are gonna die and they're not gonna be here anymore, and I just like had a moment of like pure sadness. It was so dumb. It was so dumb.
It was Passengers. We watched.
Yeah,
Passengers.
which doesn't even. Whatever, guys. I'm just letting you know that things happen to you when you have pets.
Changes, man.
Right. Like it totally, I think people who don't have pets underestimate how much your life has to change when you have pets. Like I do things now where when other people see me do these things, they're like, you are an insane person, because it's so natural to me. Like my cats love the shower.
Yeah.
Whole setup for them for the shower. Like what is normal? And it's so like, it's so ingrained in me now.
That's funny.
That's funny.
But I remember growing up and like, well, not my family. I feel like we were always a little bit crazy about pets. But like other people's family like that, they had like a family cat or whatever, but they didn't really like, they weren't as extra as we are with our pets. And I can't tell if it's like a shift in, like it was just an animal that you had that you played with or loved on, but like you didn't talk about them that much. Sometimes people didn't even know you had a pet, or like it wasn't a big deal or whatever it may be. And it's like now I feel like everyone's pets are like a way huger part of their lives. But it also might be because I grew up in the country and sometimes you had like cats to get rid of mice or whatever, and it wasn't necessarily like a pet.
Yeah, I can see that. But I definitely think now they're part of who you are. Like I'm a dog person, I'm a cat person. I wonder if that's an internet thing too, like at least partially.
Yeah.
There's a very strong divide between dog and cat people on the internet.
Yeah.
That's all
I'm an animal people.
Yeah.
But now that I have 2 cats, I could not do a dog currently at this moment in my life.
Used to have a dog when we first got our cats. Our roommate had a dog, and it was a house with 3 animals.
A what? A madhouse?
Yeah.
You couldn't eat anything ever.
I could barely eat anything.
Great diet. Get pets because they'll just be super annoying and you'll never want to eat.
Yeah.
So let's move on to a section called Limo Exit of the Week. And this is where we cautiously encourage people to maybe take a step back from Bachelor Nation. And I didn't have any serious nominees, except for like maybe Ashley I.
Yeah, but I feel like that's almost in bad taste to say that because
I have people not related to Bachelor.
Is it sports people?
It's sports people.
Yeah.
I know who one of them is.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Eric Bledsoe.
I didn't know who it was.
He's a piece of shit. That's what he is.
Why?
Eric Bledsoe. I don't know who Terry Rozier is. He scored 25 on me 2 games in a row. And made a game-tying shot in my face. And I don't play defense. And I turned the ball over. But I'm still gonna talk shit. I hope you get sent over to China.
What?
I swear I don't understand anything that you just said.
Also LeBron, because I don't like LeBron James.
I cry when I see that video. I think that kid is so cute.
LeBron James.
No, it's like, no, I can't even do it now because I'm just smiling. He's like so cute.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. I just love him.
I love him.
I want him to be my friend.
I love the video. I hate him.
Well, I like that kid.
Rucker's gonna be mad at me.
Why?
Trashing LeBron.
You like? Who's your favorite sportsman?
My favorite sportsman. Right now, it's got to be Joe Ingles.
Why?
Because he's the memeiest player in sports right now. Also,
is it that one guy that the
Australian dude whose wife?
Yeah, who's like super nice and like his story is really endearing.
Yeah, Joe Ingles is the best.
I like him too.
Also, he's a meme, and it's great.
Coworkers, 2 of my close coworkers, they are both super into sports, and The Bachelor has helped me so much because of Jordan Rodgers, because they were talking about Aaron Rodgers, and I turned around dramatically in my seat, and I was like, I know about this.
Yes. I love that.
That's good. It's always good when The Bachelor not a cruise.
Or scary.
If it accrued at my work, I'd be very surprised. You never know. So,
do you have a contestant question?
I don't have a contestant question.
Oh no, that's my favorite part.
I know, but we've already exposed so much of ourselves on this podcast. We've laid ourselves bare. That was weird.
Let's
see. Oh, here's one that I thought off the top of my head. Are you a clean freak, or do you like to leave it messy?
My life in general, or housing? No, I'm just kidding.
Life in general.
I guess I could go really quick. I think I have something wrong with me, because sometimes I'm really messy and I just let it go because I'm too lazy and I just live in my own head and try to not think about how dirty everything is, and then I have a breaking point and I freak out and I need to clean everything perfectly, and I'll keep it that way for a few weeks and then I'll go back into my weirdness. I would prefer if it be clean all the time because I feel like I would have much less anxiety. I'm just also not an adult yet, so there's that. What about you, RK? I'll answer. He likes to keep it messy.
Called out.
I don't think we gotta say in this.
You really don't. I know you're gonna say you like to keep it messy. No,
I don't see this.
Okay, what about you? Honey, I'm sorry.
We're talking to somebody who spent the previous 2 hours before this podcast cleaning the house top to bottom and literally taking everything out of our bathroom cabinets and reorganizing it all. I live with 3 other people.
Yeah.
A friend and 2 dudes. And pull my hair out on a regular basis because I love my best friend dearly, but she is not a clean person. Not dirty, just clutter.
Yeah.
So every few weeks I clean our house. I get into a zone and watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I clean our house for 2 hours.
Yes. I love that.
My room not as clean.
Yeah.
Lost myself keeping the house clean.
That you're ugh. I definitely sleep better when things are like organized. But just to like give you a taste of my life, I finally decided to clean out our bookshelves like a few months ago because I was like, okay, I'm gonna like organize everything and make it really nice. I found a box of shake and bake in my bookshelf.
I
Like,
remember
what
putting
does
that in
that
there.
say? That
Really,
further proves my point.
well, it was from when we were in our old apartment and we didn't have a pantry.
Excuses.
And so like some of the food was mixed with
I think we should just leave it at I found shake and bake in my bookshelf and just call it a
Look,
day.
there's a very reasonable explanation.
No. I like it.
You 100% sure that Guy Fieri didn't write a book and it was actually a box of shake and bake that he wrote?
I mean, like,
oh, that's
if
so
Guy
good.
Fieri wrote a book, I'd be on the short list for the pre-order. But
why? You wouldn't even let us go to his restaurant when we were in New York City.
Yeah, that's true.
You like would not let us.
Yeah.
Not like let us, but you were like, I mean, I guess.
I'd be like, okay, like part of me wanted to go for the meme, but part of me was like, hey, RK, remember, this guy's a trash tier chef.
You don't know that. You've never been to his restaurant.
I mean, I've seen the menu. It's trash tier.
I feel like it would have been
Ungo to Guy Fieri's restaurant. That's all.
You want to ungo to it?
No, you can't ungo to it.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you've done that, it's like crossing a line that you can never uncross.
Exactly.
Okay, you're right. But we also found a place in New York with like wood, like oven, what's that special oven? A brick oven pizza. And they literally, when I got a glass of wine, and you know when you go to a restaurant, they give you like a little bit of wine in your glass, they filled it to the brim of wine.
It was a big glass.
And they have pint-size martinis.
Oh, that was great.
And just whatever mixed drink you want, pint-sized.
We got drunk.
What's the name of this place?
Oh my god, I don't remember what it's
called. It's in an old church in the middle of New York City.
I have to look this up. I will look this up. Keep talking.
In a church?
In an old church,
old
yeah.
Church.
So technically now we can say we got trashed in a church.
You need to talk to those people about what kinds of things we need to do to make our business pop, because
amen. Serve pint-sized wine glasses.
They have it on lockdown.
Amen. It'll just be a one-stop movie watching spot.
It's called John's of Times Square.
I don't even remember the name. We just saw it and went in it.
Yeah.
That sounds.
Times Square is like an interesting place to have a cool restaurant, but it works.
It's the largest pizzeria in the United States.
Really? It is huge.
It's so.
And it has like, does it have like a stained glass ceiling?
It does have a stained
glass ceiling, like a really, it's amazing. So anybody, when you're in New York, go there.
Yeah, literally, like, just go for the fucking pizza and the drinks that are gigantic.
Yeah. I couldn't have asked for more.
I'm in.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll go. We'll have a meetup.
A meetup in only that pizzeria.
Oh my god. It's okay.
All right. Well.
All right.
Thank you guys for listening to our long-winded podcast of nonsense, but
you made it.
I feel like we talked about fun things, and hopefully that wasn't extremely boring by any means. I don't know.
If nothing else, you heard about a fantastic business idea.
Yeah. Please look for our GoFundMe coming any moment now.
Plus no steal Reno. So please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Bachelor Reddit and on Twitter at Reddit Bachelor. Check out the sub at reddit.com/r/The Bachelor.
How would you get here if you didn't know that sub?
Look, I don't know, like you could have like discovered it on a podcast app because we're on all of the major podcast apps now.
There.
Or you could so many ways. We're getting our name out there.
But probably you came from Reddit.
Yeah. So next week we have two very excited guests. They've been messaging me and telling me how excited they are to be on the podcast. So that would be fun. And guys, there's like almost a month left until the show starts. So y'all better be ready.
Woo!
Yeah, that's all I had for that.
Off season.
Huh?
Off season.
Off season. I am so ready for this off season to be over. It's been a very tumultuous off season. I gotta say on the podcast, I kind of like talking about nonsense. But I do too.
But I'm glad that we'll have something to watch.
of getting at each other's throats at this point, I feel like.
Yeah.
I think the sub is ready to kill each other. So let's get Becca on screen, please. And that's what I have to say about that. So for Honey, I'm Sorry, Queen Overthrown, I am your quality host saying thank you very much for tuning in and have a great night.